Hey everyone, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I'm Brad, here with Doug.
Hey.
Doug, for reasons I do not yet know, went back to play the very loosely defined version of Classic, Sunset Overdrive, which was an early Xbox One game that was supposed to be super cool, made by Insomniac, so they got the Ratchet and
It
Clank
is super
guys.
cool. These are all facts. It is made by Insomniac, and it is super cool.
So, big deal was Ratchet and Clank guys coming over from PlayStation to make their next game on the Xbox One. Because this is one of those games that I more or less forgotten existed until you texted me the other day. I was like, I'm playing Sunset Overdrive.
I think I owned it forever on Steam. I think it just kind of sat on my Steam list, and I just never got around to it. I mean, I really like this game. Is so heartbreaking to me because first of all, I really loved it. I love this game. I thought it was so. It's not a perfect game. It's not even I would say some people probably really not like it. The humor is the humor is very specifically Tony Hawk.
I was gonna say it feels like
humor.
Early 2000s skateboarding.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's it is that kind of humor, although it is completely aged like milk.
Yep.
But it's to me, it's to me right now, it's I am not happy that Insomniac game is basically going to be making Marvel movies to the end of time, Marvel games the end of time, because I really like Ratchet and Clank. I did the Resistance series, and then so I was kind of missing that, and I was oh yeah, Sunset Overdrive. I never really got around to playing that one. But this game is just it's just so awesome. And it's a game I kind of it's funny because I think when they were doing Spider-Man, I think everyone was holy crap, why does it not Sucker Punch the guys who did Infamous doing Spider-Man?
Yep.
And you play this, it's oh, this is just proto Spider-Man. A lot of the same moves that you do in Sunset Overdrive are in this verbatim in the Spider-Man games. So I was just really interested in playing this. And kind of with a Steam Deck, I'm what I haven't played yet. It's I'm playing Alpha Protocol as well. That's also been sitting on my Steam list forever. Yeah.
Finish that and let's talk about Alpha Protocol. That game is fantastic.
It is a game. It's really goofy. We'll talk about that one later. But anyway, no, Sunset Overdrive is really cool. I didn't really know what to expect because I do remember when it came out, I was one of those people who was not little console worry, but I was really sad that Sunset Overdrive was on a console I just knew I would never get. So I was I'm just never gonna play this. So it took me 10 years to finally get around to it. First of all, it's a cool game because I think I think it's got a fun attitude, and I think it's one of those attitude things that people find can find super annoying.
Yep.
Where it's I guess it's actually really funny. I was wondering, why would they not make another one? It's because the Saints Row franchise basically totally ate its lunch. But it's that kind of sort of open world. We're gonna have fun. The story doesn't really matter. And then everybody's kind of an asshole, but you're kind of an asshole back because you're kind of a cool guy. You're smirking the camera, giving finger guns to people and stuff. And it is a type of attitude in games that I just is not around anymore. That I get really nostalgic for. And I think actually the most recent one that'd probably be similar to it would be because I think people oh, this type of attitude just doesn't work in games anymore. It's like you said, to kind of be we said, it was this Tony Hawk stuff doesn't really quite work. That attitude doesn't work anymore. But Hi-Fi Rush, I think, had that similar attitude.
Very
and
similar,
was able to update it. So it's that type of tone of game can still exist. So it felt really fun of just this sort of I like the kind of everybody in this game is kind of taking this world half seriously, which was kind of fun. The animations and stuff they do is so cool and stuff I've never seen before. One of the things that they do in the game is that every time you die, they have different respawn animations that are really fun. One is okay, I died, and then all of a sudden you come crash landing on a spaceship. One is a UFO drops you off. One is you coming out of a mummy crypt, and that's the animation coming out. So it's got this really fun sort of almost Looney Tunes type attitude. But on top of that, on top of that, so I like the attitude, but also it's just a really, really solid game that has super, super interesting game mechanics. So you have the basic, very similar to Ratchet and Clank. You get cool weapons, you upgrade these weapons as you use them more, and you can add mods and stuff to them. Whatever, doesn't really matter. But the thing that's like really, really cool is that they very clearly, besides the attitude were inspired by Tony Hawk, that they made like a third person shooter that runs on Tony Hawk logic of like, okay, here I can like grind this
Oh
rail,
yeah.
hop up to here, grab this, do this, and then like kind of do this all in some sort of like you call it like a parkour combo thing.
Yep.
But the game is like it's in some ways I think it's almost like a more fun movement system than Spider-Man because so Spider-Man is a cool system, but you can immediately get into the fun of a Spider-Man one just by doing like the swinging motion. The swinging motion is like really fun, but it's not super active. But in this game, because your character doesn't move like really far distances, like Spider-Man, like okay, let's like with Spider-Man to move a city block, I hold down R2, and then I'm like going like half a mile down the road or whatever. But in this one, because your character doesn't move as far, it's like okay, I need to jump, grind, then jump up, then like then jump on top of the thing I'm grinding on because I was hanging out below, jump up on high, jump up, dash over the building, wall ride the building around, and then hop up on top of the building and jump on this thing and this. So you're like the actions you're doing is just like so much more active all of the time.
Gotcha.
That
Okay,
it very literally feels like playing a Tony Hawk game. So it is. I think I'm finding more and more like the games that I'm really enjoying are games that are like requiring me to be very active a lot. So I just really liked that system because this movement system is pretty complicated. It's really fun once you figure out how to like really manipulate it and do exactly what you want to do. It ends up being like I don't keep going back to Tony Hawk, but it just feels like you're playing a adjacent Tony Hawk game that's just like absolutely incredible. And it was just so fun the entire time. I really, really loved it.
I do remember that being the case of one of those games where the first 2 hours I didn't get, and then by hour 8 or 9 I was like, oh, okay, now I can go here, I can do this. I've got enough ability points or whatever to do these things, and I've got enough skill to be able to pick out where I'm supposed to go and how I'm supposed to do. I kind of forgot that this was based around movement a lot. In my mind, it's just like goofy third-person shooter, but it is very movement-based. Because now I'm thinking, like, I'm remembering these arenas where it's like just climbing everything and moving everything, and it was just really, really unique in how you played that way.
Yeah, and there's like some really cool boss battles that like really require you to like move quickly, otherwise it could like chase you down like and beat the crap out of you. The other thing that's really neat about kind of like the movement system and stuff is like, the thing that's weird about the game is that there's a really critical movement ability where it's like an air dash. The whole game is built around you air dashing between. It's like all the spacing of all the buildings, all like the spacing of the rails and stuff are with this air dash ability, but you don't get that air dash ability until like 2 hours in. I was like,
that's what I'm thinking.
It feels
those first 2 hours, like
it feels like for this first 2 hours, like you're just playing the game wrong. It's like there is something bad. And I did remember, because like I have had this game for a while. I do remember playing like the first half hour and going, I don't want this game. And then like I like was Googling, it's like I feel like there should be an air dash ability that like it felt like that missing.
Yeah.
And then like I Googled it and like you get this ability in mission, whatever. Like, all right, okay. And then as soon as you get that air dash ability, it's like, holy crap, this is incredible. Yeah, and it does some like really cool stuff with some of the there's like DLCs that are also added that give you some additional movement abilities in the water that are like really, really cool. But it is fun because like once you're playing it, it's like it feels just as not. It's obviously not going to feel as good as a Spider-Man game, but like once you get good at a Spider-Man game, like you play that game a little bit differently, and like you're just kind of like you can get creative with it. And then like this game, it's like it feels like because the system's a little bit more complicated and it's asking you to do a little bit more, you can do more as a result. So it felt like way more rewarding and kind of like a Mirror's Edge or something else like that, where it's like once you get the hang of it, it's just really cool. And so the thing that's like kind of sucks is like there's just never going to be a Sunset Overdrive 2, like ever. And it's just like, man, it's like I would, as much as I love Ratchet and Clank, like I could be okay without a Ratchet and Clank. I mean, I'll sacrifice any Spider-Man game to whatever throne gets me any other
Wolverine now.
I can't, dude. Isn't it? You like Marvel stuff? Do you not? Are you like, yay, Insomniac's making Marvel games forever? Are you like, yeah?
If it's Wolverine, yes. If it was anybody other than Wolverine, I'd probably be a little bit more hesitant. But it's Wolverine, so I'm good.
I mean, it's Spider-Man though. I mean, it's like
no. The next one, if it was Spider-Man 3, I'd probably be like, okay, we'll see.
Okay,
but it's Wolverine, so that's a different thing.
Okay, sure, yeah. I just wish I could get excited about it because like it's just like this game just feels like bursting with creativity. You play some of those earlier Ratchet games, bursting with
Yep.
creativity. You play some of the Resistance games, like oh this is like kind of such a cool idea, and
Yep.
that just feels like now we're in the Marvel minds. It's
And
like
now, yeah.
yeah, and like I'll bet it's cool. Like I'll bet it's cool, but I'll bet it's gonna be cool in like the way a Marvel movie's cool. Well, it's like, man, I just wish they had that some like that sort of like weird Sunset Overdrive-y attitude
Yeah.
that like that just like it just feels like
Yep.
missing from games. Until the next I really hate the Saints Row franchise. So it's like I don't know why this one clicked for me and then the Saints Row doesn't. Oh, one last thing. The thing that's really cool is the character customization is super super good. Again, it's just a total ripoff of Tony Hawk, but it's just like there's something very fun about playing like dress up with characters and like earning clothes to make your character just look
Is
cooler and
there?
sillier or whatever. I love that. Oh yeah, I love that stuff. Oh
That's
yeah,
a,
you don't do
no,
creative
I
character
don't
stuff.
touch
You're always
creative.
like default guy.
Default guy, please. Default guy. I got time for this. I want to play the game.
Oh no, I was like every time I got to a new clothes shop, I was like, yes, more clothes, and you get to try new cool new stuff.
I feel like I know the answer to this, and it's probably why it hasn't come up. What is the story of this game, and is it good? Because I honestly don't even remember there being a story. I remember like cool movement things, and I remember a couple of like
Yeah.
set pieces, but I do not remember a thing about the story.
The story is bad. It's
Okay. Assumed
it's
since
a-
we're 10 minutes into this and haven't mentioned it.
no, it's fun. It's like a very 2000s thing. It's like, what if there was an evil Mountain Dew that turned people into zombies?
That's right. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then you're trying to escape the city while like the evil corporations try to like kill anybody who might know who's there who's still left. So like there
Yep.
not any evidence, but it's also like very silly and slapsticky. But it's like there is a really cool enemy. Like one of the main face bad guys is like their mascot is like constantly harassing you.
Yep.
I forgot what the character's name is, but it's like it's kind of like it feels like that 2000s like you have like a cute character who's like foul mouthed and that sort
Yeah.
of stuff, and it's like aw, that's kind of cute. It's like cute and like sort of like a oh, you guys thought this was cool. I mean, it kind of sucks, but like I'm like enjoying it.
You attempted. Good try. You were going for what I.
Yeah,
You were going for it. Thanks.
yeah, like having a cute character that swears, it's like is very quaint. I guess
Yes.
is like maybe the thing that I'm thinking of. But no, it is cool. There's like a super cool boss fight where you're fighting like a giant blimp version of that character. That's like it was just like it's a very very cool game that I could see people like completely rubbing people the wrong way, which is why I kind of like it. It's because it's just
Yeah.
like this
There's
movement
something
system
to
is
that.
really complicated. Yeah, it's like this movement system's like needlessly complicated. This attitude is like really brash and kind of
Yep.
just like very believes in itself really hard, and it's like not really working. But it's like, God damn it, guys, we're really gonna do this. And I just like that sort of like full blown whether or not it's working. It's like we at
We're
least
going
believe
for
in
it.
this, and that's yeah, exactly, yeah.
Nice. Well, Sunset Overdrive 2, 2040 maybe.
Yeah, never. Yeah.
We are Workforce Gaming. Subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment below. There's links to sports and coffee as well. We'll see you later.
Bye.